Good morning and welcome to this dark and gloomy Sunday. I think it's Sunday. Third day of South by Southwest, heading there after pretty much exactly the same amount of hours of sleep. I'm just heading there for the first session because of the big name. This is a session with John Gruber coming up. It was kind of, wait a second, bus. So no. I just about caught my shuttle, no idea what I've been saying. So I might be a bit grumpy because I didn't get too much sleep. But first panel of the day is something with John Gruber, who is a big name for everything related to Apple news. It's always like a step ahead. And I think I'm gonna fall asleep today in at least one of the sessions. So here's for the first one.
I'm very, very impressed that people came to this. I'm impressed that we came. But I had like dozens of readers, and then hundreds, and then it's like the whole boiling a frog thing. You put a frog in lukewarm water and slowly bring it to a boil. The frog never jumps out because you never know.
There is something about low, monotonous voices that gets me very, very, very sleepy. Next up is Tim Ferris, who wrote The 4-Hour Body, which is a book about self-improvement and fast strength gain, rapid fat loss, stuff like that. So look forward to that.
And The 4-Hour Body, for those who are unfamiliar with the book, came out in December and was the culmination of more than 10 years of data gathering, data crunching, and 3 years of very intensive experiments. And it just goes to show that science is not the domain of the United States, not the domain of one or two industrialized nations. Science is a method. You can find very good scientists all over the planet, many of whom are disguised as black market chemists, Olympic athletes, also MPs and formal scientists. The hand you've been dealt genetically is actually very, very valuable. And in the course of doing these experiments, traveling around the world, I realized just how possible most of the things are that we assume to be impossible. The permatan chest shaving and anti-gravity shorts are optional. This is the very controversial geek to freak experiment. I gained 34 pounds of lean muscle tissue in 4 weeks. I also lost 3 pounds of fat, decreased my cholesterol from about 222 to 147, and the total gym time was 4 hours. So in this case, the 4-hour body is literal.
So that was really cool, but then again, I'm reading, or read basically, his book, so there was nothing new to me. This was more about just seeing him in person. That next one is about earning money while traveling, and as you might have guessed, like, I like to keep that up. So that would be the most important talk so far. It's right over there.
Hey guys, my name's Tynan. Really psyched to be here today. Really psyched to see so many people here. I'd like to think it's because we're rock stars, but I think probably it's actually because this is a topic that's on a lot of people's minds. And I think that's because there's been a fundamental shift in the way society works, where school and regular jobs are sort of becoming less effective. Now becoming your own boss and having real freedom are a lot more effective, a lot more attractive. Most importantly, a lot more possible for normal people. And when I talk about freedom, I'm not talking about like the freedom to have the amount of chicken nuggets you want in your extra value meal or the right color on your least Honda Civic. I'm talking about being able to do what you want to do and being able to be where you want to be when you do it. And to me, that's ultimate real freedom. I haven't been traveling for as long. In 2007, or have been a nomad rather, for as long. In 2007, I was on eBay and I decided to buy an RV for some reason. So I bought this RV on eBay. My girlfriend and I flew out to Deming, New Mexico to go pick it up. I saw the thing, I was like, God, that's so tiny. I can't imagine we're actually going to stay in this for 3 to 7 days or whatever. It took us 3 days to get back to Austin, and I never slept in my condo again. Ever since then, when I'm in the US, I've lived in my RV on the side of the road. A year later, I kind of had this idea that I should start traveling internationally for a while, partly inspired by Tim Ferris' book. So I told my friend Todd about this, and as if he'd made up his decision 3 months earlier, he said, oh yeah, I'm in. And so a few months later, we'd sold every single thing we owned, except what fit in a small backpack like this, and we went around the world.
Now that was awesome. It was mostly like tips and tricks on, not tricks, just on like how to finance stuff and how to work with like taxes and kind of equipment they use are not really filmable, but it inspired me a lot again. I'm now thinking about selling all my stuff back home and just keep doing that for a while. Actually setting up my business finally. I got a few ideas I could work with. So I might just head back home for a while and then keep traveling for a while. But now I need to move over to the Ritz to see another movie, which I again forgot what it's about.
Thanks for coming. This is the world premiere of my ramshackle, homemade, lovely film about the place where I grew up, about men, vinyl, obsession, and how music can change our lives.
That movie was a documentary about a specific vinyl shop that's kind of, yeah, nice to see like people into music, but it wasn't too awesome. And now I'm gonna have a look at a panel about something film school doesn't teach you, just nothing to do here. There's another design panel coming up, I want to see at 5, but for now another 1.5 hours to kill.
First of all, kind of for all of you guys who, except for Jennifer, went to film school, what were your expectations going in? What did you think you were going to get out of it? And then, what do you kind of feel like you did get out of it? Mike?
Yeah, I think going to film school, I wasn't, you sort of know that you're going to get your hands on a camera, you're going to learn how to edit, you're going to, for me it was like just learning the craft of it. Back when I went to film school, it was like actually editing on a computer was a really big deal. You didn't have iMovie coming with your laptop. And we edited off of jazz drives. And I'm just dating myself, aren't I? Sorry, guys. And,
mind you, this is only, 10 years ago?
Yeah, but it feels like forever ago. Technology. Anyway.
Welcome to Jeffrey Zeldman's awesome internet design panel. This was originally called Jeffrey Zeldman's awesome panel. And when they approved it, they said, could you please put in an adjective? So we gave them 2. Awesome internet of design. I guess design's not an adjective. No. I'm blowing it already. I'm 30 seconds into this. Last year we said we were going to have a panel on the future of publishing. And they gave us a very small room and we couldn't fill it. So this year we said we were going to talk about unicorns and pixies. Welcome to South by Southwest. So today we're going to be talking about topics including platforms. Like are we going back to the 90s between native, web, hybrid? Which platforms are we going to support? Well, it's the 90s all over again. Web fonts, we have Typedia, we have WebType. Mobile is the new widescreen, how to succeed in the new publishing, responsive design, HTML5 or HTML, East Coast versus West Coast beefs, and many other topics. Or how many people in the audience are in publishing, one capacity or another? Yeah, I would think every hand should be raised. Okay, I think, how many people here are on the web? Okay, you're all in publishing.
Good talk, but I'm way too tired for that. Now it's time for another movie. LBF, I'm not gonna say what that stands for, probably gonna put it in the description somewhere.
Hey everyone, yeah, thanks for coming to LBF, a pop-up film. Thanks to South by Southwest for having us here. We're thrilled to be here and having a ball in Austin. Listen, this is I call it sort of a handmade little film made in Sydney with the occasional trip to Paris with a camcorder in a handbag. But it's really, a little small-scale indie film made by a group of sort of bunch of friends and creatives, made sort of slowly but with love over the last couple of years. There's fewer people in the light.
Okay, without pirating, it's pretty useless filming those movies I'm going to. So I got like 1.5 hours till the next movie, and there might be some comedy going on somewhere. The dude playing Duncan in Community, I think his name is Duncan, Professor Duncan. He's doing some stand-up somewhere. I might see that, or I might just wait in line for 1.5 hours. There are too many people here. The line again is massive, so I need to skip on the stand-up for today because I really want to see that movie Paul, which hopefully is going to be a comedy. Seth Rogen, I think, plays the alien in there. It's no idea what that movie's about. So it's now line standing for 1.5 hours. Yay!
2011 for the world premiere of Paul. No, it's open in the UK already.
This is the 3rd time I've been here, and if you've seen any of my previous work, you'll know that I'm a master of science fiction. I did a lot of things in this film I've never done before, and it's up to you guys to decide if I should never do it again. There was a little problem with the print for the film. It's not arrived, so acting out the film tonight for you will be Mr. Simon Pegg. And Mr. Nicholas Frost.
8 years ago, we had this idea when we were making Shaun of the Dead because we wanted to shoot somewhere around. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead, Shaun of the Dead. She's not seen it. She's not seen it.
What?
Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead. We wanted to shoot a film where it didn't rain all the fucking time, which it does in London, and we kind of figured a desert would do, and that became Area 51, and an alien got involved, and then we thought 2 British tourists, and that was the idea, and it kind of hung around for 7 years, and then when Edgar went off to make, what was it called?
Thanks.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. We decided to make Paul. It had been hanging around on Naira's, our producer's notice board for 7 years, and she's down there for Big Tour Productions. Woo! Naira's been with us back since Space. We did a show called Space back in the day. She hadn't seen it.
I really enjoyed working with Simon and Nick. I'm not a good rapper. I don't want to wrap this up. Really? Okay. You're about to watch Paul, the movie. Please enjoy it. We're gonna do. Oh, we're not. Okay. I told you I'm not good at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your eyes, Paul! Transition from British to American, sorry, yeah. I don't think, we have a really similar sense of humour, you know, what makes us laugh, makes you laugh, and well, pounds and dollars are different. We say pavement, you say sidewalk. I don't know, I mean, we're big fans of everyone that we got for this film, you know, Kristen and Bill and Jason and all those guys, we're big fans, what is it? A bit of matter, thanks. We love their stuff, and you know, we know that Shaun and Hot Fuzz did okay over here, so you guys get our stuff, so there's no reason why we shouldn't all come together here and just, you know, make it become one, right? Yeah. And, sorry, and I had a picture of, we did an actual road trip of the, did you see that was my cock? It's pretty accurate. It is that thin. Long and thin. It's like fruit leather. Yeah. Whereas yours is short but very thick, isn't it? Like a beaker, if you will. We compare a lot. He gave us this alien bust to take with us on our tour, which we'd photograph and send pictures back to Naira, like that gnome in Amelie. And we kind of took a picture of him next to Devil's Tower, because we went to Devil's Tower, and I showed Steven Spielberg this picture, and he went, "What the fuck's that?" Because it was like the last time he'd seen an alien near Devil's Tower, it was in Close Encounters. He was like, "What?" And we explained to him that, "What?" We explained to him what it was, and we said, "Oh, we've got this idea that maybe you've had like Paul's ear for years and years, and you're like friends, and he calls you, and you call him and get ideas." And he went, "Oh my God, I like that." And he said, "Maybe I can be in the film and call up and be on the phone." And Nick and I went, "What?" It was his idea, and it just, you know, what could we say? No, thanks. No, I think so. I don't think you're right for the part, to be honest.
So I want to kind of get to the film very quickly. I'll just tell you one thing. It's called a work in progress, but just know what you were watching is the final cut. It just hasn't been fully sound mixed yet. It hasn't been fully color time, but to be honest, it looks and sounds about the way it's going to look. So you're not missing anything, except I think there's one siren sound you're not going to hear, so be sure to shell out $12 to hear that siren sound.
There was another movie right after that called Bridesmaids, which sounds like a chick flick. I'm not too sure if it was. Pretty good, but I kept falling asleep towards the end because now it's like about 3 and you get back to my hotel. And I need to get up at like 6 tomorrow. South by is not a time to get enough sleep, but there's something I really want to see tomorrow morning. It's like 9:30. A good time. See you guys tomorrow. They have got to be kidding me. The shuttles run till like 2:30 at night. It's 2:47. Need to find a cab somewhere.